What's up?
What's up, YouTube
family?
All right, YouTube, we are back, and we have another Joe Rogan today. So Joe Rogan is going to be, it's a motivational speech, and it says it's one of his best motivational speeches ever.
Okay.
So you ready to get into it?
No, not yet. I got something I have to say. We went over this speech. You're supposed to say, "What's up, YouTube family?" together, and you know what? Why you got to make stuff so difficult?
I don't try to make things difficult at all. If I wanted to
this whole speech,
listen, Linda. If I want it to be difficult, or you would know when I'm being difficult.
All right. So let's go and get into this thing.
Let's do it.
Sometimes you don't find someone for a long time, and then when you do, it changes your whole life. You find someone, maybe it's just a YouTube video, and it's you saying it's still your motherfucking set, and it's you just pushing people and telling people to go get after it, and people see that, and all of a sudden it's like they get goosebumps, their heart starts racing. It's like you gave them a drug, like you gave them fuel. And then they want to change their life. Then they want to watch you tomorrow. Then they want to watch you when they're at lunch break. That's fuel. And you literally can change a person's life through that. Because we need each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one more piece of evidence that we need each other. And that we have this sort of very strange, loose-fitted community of all human beings together. When someone like you does something that's exceptional and says something that's exceptional and has these inspirational words, it can change a person's whole life, change their whole path, change who they are. I've gotten so many messages from people that say, I lost 130 pounds. You know, I did this. I got off sugar. I'm fucking running every day. I hit the gym 5 days a week now. I'm a different person. I'm drinking water. I'm exercising. I take vitamins. I'm eating healthy. I got more juice. I got more energy. My whole life is different now. There's no personal satisfaction in accomplishments if nobody loves you. You're not going to enjoy it.
Wow.
Love is the most important thing, and that sounds so cliche, but without love, it's all useless.
Yes.
It's all useless. We all need each other. Yeah. We really do. There's something beautiful about that, though. You know, like you can't just go it alone. You really do need each other. Through time and effort, you build a stronger human. You build a stronger body. You build a stronger mind. You build accomplishments and will and momentum. And then you look back and you go, "Hey, man, I'm not washing tables anymore. You know, I'm not washing dishes. I'm not cutting lawns. I'm not digging ditches. I'm a different person now." You are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. You might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You learn from it, that's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Keep moving. You know, use it as fuel. Say, never again.
Yeah.
I get what I did wrong, but don't think that you're that person that made those mistakes. You're the person who's learned. I think that enduring something, and building up that ability to endure things, that's also a very important mechanism that you could apply to everyday life. Like that, the mechanism of understanding how to endure. Because a lot of people are just running from discomfort. They're running from it. They're just avoiding it. It's so easy to. And like if you get distracted for a second, you're like, let me check my phone. You just start going through your phone and looking at bullshit, and you're just distracting yourself from the tiniest frustration of boredom. Just the little, we don't get bored anymore. Or if we get bored for these tiny amounts of time, then you get distracted. Mm-hmm. So your distraction is eliminating your boredom. But the problem with that is like, there's certain thoughts that only come to you when you're thinking, when you don't have any input coming in. When we're constantly looking at our phones, the only input you're getting is input from other people. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes you get good stuff out of that, but it's like a diet of only fruit. You know, like, hey, motherfucker, you need some protein.
Yeah.
Like you need to get some other things in your diet. You know, and I think having discomfort in your diet, like having it as a regular part of your life, it minimizes the amount of other kinds of bullshit. And I think that insanity and greatness are next door neighbors, and they borrow each other's sugar. There's something about mastery, like true mastery, that requires you to shut off massive areas of your life, personal areas, relationships, education. My education was a joke. I mean, until I was 21 years old, until I started doing stand-up comedy, I didn't read books. I mean, I might have read a Stephen King book here and there to kill time while I was on the train on my way to training, but there was no desire to educate myself. If I was educating myself, it was maybe reading the Book of Five Rings to learn better strategy to be a better fighter. That was all it was.
Or was there ever a point where you said, I'm a little out of balance, I need to go the other way?
Well, I realized I was a flawed person for sure. You know, and I think in realizing that you're a flawed person...
What helped you realize that?
Just fucking up. Just being an idiot. You know, realizing, you know, girls would get mad at me or maybe guys would get mad at me. Whatever it was, I realized that I had flaws, you know. I knew that I was... And then also failing at comedy. One of the hardest things to do is to go from being really great at something to sucking at something. And that's something that you suck at is now your path. You know, and that's what I found myself in comedy. You know, I could get laughs every now and then, but I knew I wasn't anything special. I knew I was terrible. And there was something exciting about being terrible because I had potential, because there was potential for growth. You know, if you start doing it and you're great at it, like naturally, like maybe I wouldn't have had the motivation to do it as a living for 25 years like I've done. I don't know. But at that time, you know, making that transition from martial arts competition to being a comedian, that's when I started going down the road of balance and started trying to balance myself as a person. And I started trying to almost educate myself to have more things to talk about on stage. And then along the way, my curiosity started to blossom. And then I started to just be interested in things for being interested in them. And as I got better as a comedian, I became less worried about what other people thought about me and more worried about just improving and keeping this sort of momentum going. And as I relaxed more, you know, in having some success in life and sort of not worrying about bills as much, not worrying about my future, then I started to explore altered states of consciousness, and then I really started opening up the door to the whole yin and the yang. Life is filled with so many different kinds of experiences that are available, and that's one of the things that you sort of open up to when you relax. When you relax and, you know, you don't worry about what you look like, you don't worry about what you sound like, you don't worry about how people feel about you, because you've thought about all these different things on your own, and you've kind of corrected as many things as you can correct given that time period. But you feel comfortable that you're on a good path. You know, then you sort of can entertain ideas that maybe you wouldn't if you were insecure or more insecure. You know, I think you have to be insecure if you're finite. We're worried about death. We're worried about disease. We're worried about loved ones. We're always going to be, in a certain sense, insecure. You know, we're worried about being sexually attractive. We're worried about being socially interesting. Sure. You know, there's always going to be some form of insecurity, but that's also part of the balance of life too. It's like you don't ever get to bliss. You know, what you get to do is chase bliss. You get to enjoy the moment. The moment is amazing, and it'll go away, and you'll be fucking tired, and you got to get up, you know, and you got to drive in traffic, and you're not going to like it. And you got to, you know, do some shit you don't want to do. There's a lot of times where I work out where I don't want to, you know, and I make myself do it. If I was living in bliss, I'd just be a fat fuck sitting on the couch, you know, thinking that I don't want to do that. My life is about enjoyment. No, there's enjoyment in doing things you don't enjoy.
Wow. That's pretty good.
There's enjoy. Oh, what did I click? I don't even know what that is. There's enjoyment in doing things you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
I agree with that, because
it's always pressing towards that mark.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we could be on a goal to we're never taking care of our own self. We're always doing something for other people. There's nothing wrong with doing stuff for other people, but sometimes you have to sit back and relax, you know, and get your mind together. Because sometimes it's like we're always on the go. Like you were saying, worrying about death, worrying about how you look. You worry about all these things, man, and you consistently just going. Yeah. And sometimes you got to sit back and just say, you know what? Let me breathe for a little bit. You know, you may get that call where somebody's calling you, and it's like you're relaxing, but somebody's calling you, you know, because they got another question or they just want to talk. And sometimes you gotta, you know what? I'm gonna relax right now. I'll call that person back later because it's like we have to answer the phone. If I don't have the phone,
no, you don't have to answer the phone.
That's what the voicemail is for, right?
You know, text message. You can read it later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, they'll leave a text message or they'll leave a voicemail.
Yep,
but sometimes you got to sit back and just relax. And I like the part when he was saying that sometimes you got to do things that you may not like.
Yeah. Work out,
and that's one of the things that
6 o'clock in the morning.
We was good at that.
We was.
7 days a week, man.
Yes.
Until COVID hit, man. But it's no excuse.
But no, we didn't have an excuse because when COVID came and we ended up like turning our whole garage into like a gym.
Yeah.
We have he bought me the assisted pull up machine and then a hack squat. What is it? A hack squat?
It's a squat machine.
Squat machine. I was like, I was like, big dog, you don't gotta buy that for me. But then I was trying to make excuses because I was like, I don't want to work out. But we did what we had to do. We ended up making the whole thing a gym. But I also wrote down some stuff. So I know we need each other, but I added this little part. Don't live your mistake.
No what?
Don't live your mistake.
Okay.
Like you make it into a lifestyle. You're living your mistake instead of learning from your mistake.
Okay.
Because mistakes, yes, they happen. But are you going to live that mistake to where every day you're going to hold it over your head and then over other people's head as well?
But that's the thing. Some people hold. It's like they hold your mistakes over your head because you made a mistake.
But even if they don't know my mistakes, it's like I'm still going around thinking people holding a mistake over my head they don't even know about. Yeah. So that's the crazy part.
But sometimes you have to forgive yourself.
Yeah,
we can forgive others, but we have to get to a point that we forgive ourselves. That's the biggest thing, man. And sometimes it's like we can't forgive ourselves. We're holding on to that mistake or that thing that we did wrong. Or you may say the wrong word. I think I said something that slavery was still existed in 1993. And I was like, when I got off the air, I was like, oh man.
I was like, no, not man. 1993.
And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at stuff and I'm doing research. I'm trying to find 1993 somewhere and couldn't find it.
But
and the
because
thing
you misspoke,
is that you have to learn that. I had to learn that at the end of the day, if somebody correct me on that, it's nothing bad about it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with it.
I educated myself by looking, and I never looked and seen when slavery was ended in America. And I realized in 1800s, it was ended. I was way off.
So again, yes, and it's like, but it's like it was an honest mistake that you made in speaking, making a point in the previous
what
video.
I was trying to say was,
but you still went ahead and researched and still learned about the topic.
I could hold on. You could hold on to that, saying, like, "Man, I made a mistake."
Yeah.
Man. And at the end of the day, you're not perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to press to learn more. That's the thing.
And to that point, I put failure has potential. Your failure has a potential for growth, and what that means is it's gonna push you to want to grow. Because what you did, you misspoke when you looked up the thing, you couldn't find what you were looking for, but you found the correct information in that simple research. So it's like me as a teacher. I'll tell my kids, because of course, when in elementary school the kids are afraid to talk, whether they know the answer or not. They don't want to speak. So I sometimes would make intentional mistakes to see if they would catch it, and sometimes they would catch it. But they got used to that look, as your teacher, I make mistakes. They wouldn't know it was an intentional mistake, but if I made a mistake and it wasn't an intentional mistake, we would all, and I would use it as a teaching moment. Like, hey, see, I made a mistake, but look how, such and such was able to tell me what I did wrong, and then also go back and correct myself. Thank you, such and such, for letting me know.
Learning from your mistakes make you better.
Yeah, learning from your mistakes, they do make you better.
It's when you don't learn from them and you continue to do the same thing over and over again. That's considered chaos.
Don't keep falling in that hole when you turn around that corner.
I used to tell my kids, hey, look, you went down the street, you fell in a hole. Chapter 1. Chapter 2, you went down the same street and fell in a hole.
Chapter 3, went down a different street, fell in the same hole.
What chapter are you going to learn from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to learn from your mistakes.
Yes. Your failure has
and in order for you to learn from your mistakes, you got to make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
To learn from it, yeah, exactly.
But even if you make a mistake, of course, you learn and grow from that.
Yeah.
You fix those things. or you work towards fixing.
I guess what I'm saying, don't be so hard on yourself.
Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't use that victim card. Don't use that victim card. I mean, that's set up to stop you right there. Just playing that whole victim thing, playing the whole victim role. Cause I was like, shoot, oh my God, the man ain't gonna want to make no more YouTube videos with me. I'm gonna find me another co-angle.
Man, he said that.
No, I'm just playing.
Man, she done kicked me off the channel 2 times. Y'all just don't know. One time I was doing a scene. I was like, dum, shit. When you gonna start? I said, give me a second. She's like, you off the channel. I'm like, I'm on the channel?
So I will learn from my failures.
2 times, y'all. 2 times. I was over the other side of this camera doing something. I'm always doing something crazy. Is he gonna come over here or not? I said, yeah, I'll be over there.
Yes, I almost fired him twice.
Kick you off the channel.
But I've learned that we work better together.
Oh man.
We work better together.
Handful.
Alright, YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, Joe Rogan. That was a very good speech. I really enjoyed that. I'm glad we listened to that and was able to share our input with you guys. So, peace.